Hi everyone, I'm Meredith Abbott, Culinary Director for Sur La Table, and welcome to On the Table. Today I'm making a comforting classic, a cheesy potato gratin. It's full of layers of tender Yukon Gold potatoes, a creamy sauce, and lots of cheddar cheese. It's sure to be a hit. The first step to making this gratin is to make the sauce. You're going to need a large saucepan, medium heat. I'm going to add butter. And what we're making is a riff on a traditional bechamel sauce, which is typically just equal parts butter and flour and milk, but I am going to add some flavor to mine with sweating some diced onions and some garlic. My butter is melted, so now I add my onions and my garlic. I'm going to cook this over moderate heat. I want to soften my onions and my garlic, but I don't want any color on them. And this will take a few minutes. You want to stir occasionally. All right, my onions are translucent. They're a little golden. I'm okay with that. Now I'm going to add in my flour and stir this in with my onions and garlic. Immediately, the flour absorbs all of that butter. You want to cook this just for a minute or so. The flour is what's going to thicken this sauce once the milk is added. I'm now going to switch to my whisk. I'm now going to slowly stream my milk into my saucepan while whisking, making sure to really scrape those corners of your saucepan and the bottom and the sides. We don't want any flour to stick to the sides and become lumpy. And we're going to stir and cook this until it simmers and becomes thick enough to coat the back of a spoon. My sauce has been boiling for about 2 minutes. I've been whisking like crazy. I'm going to turn the heat off. I'm going to do a quick season with salt and pepper. I'm going light on the salt for now because the cheddar cheese that we're going to add to this has a good amount of salt. Whisk this in. And now I'm going to set this aside while I finish slicing my potatoes. These are Yukon Gold potatoes. They're lovely, creamy potatoes. I like a wide peeler because you can hold it in many different ways based on how you're peeling your vegetables or your produce. That looks good. And now, to ensure that I get even slices, which is really important for a recipe like this so everything cooks at the same rate, I'm going to use a mandolin. Now I know this is scary for a lot of people. If you're just really mindful and keep your fingers out of the way, it is a great tool to have. So always set it on a flat surface. This one is great because it has silicone grippies on the bottom, which holds it into place. It's not gonna jiggle around on your board. There's also adjustable blades on here. I'm at 3 millimeters right now, which is about, what is that, a centimeter? So nice, thin strips of potatoes like this. I'm gonna hold the potato with a nice grip and start running it down, giving it light pressure down the mandolin, like so. I can do it from the side so you can see it. Keeping my fingertips out of the way. A lot of these come with guards. Please use them if you have them. Once you get towards the end of whatever you're slicing, go ahead and stop. Don't take any chances. Get your next one and start working your way through, like so. I've got my cheese, I've got my sauce. Now I'm ready to start layering my gratin. I have a buttered oven to table baking dish. Now I'm going to set a first layer of potatoes. They don't have to be perfect. We're gonna slice into this, but we're gonna try to get a single layer in here. A few more. I'm gonna season this layer with some salt and pepper. And now about 1/3 cup of sharp cheddar cheese. I'm using an aged white cheddar today, but if you prefer yellow cheddar, feel free. Just a thin layer. Now I'm going to layer the rest of the potatoes, but seasoning in between each layer or so. You could use a larger casserole for this. You're just gonna have a thinner gratin. I kind of like the look of a nice thick piece. And now I'm going to add some more cheese. This is essentially a potato lasagna almost. So you want that cheese in between some of your layers, like so. Add more potatoes. This looks pretty good. Okay, one final season with salt and pepper. And now goes the sauce. I'm using a silicone spatula to make sure I have all of it out of that saucepan. See how thick it is? This is what's really going to hold the gratin together. Spread it over top. As this bakes, the sauce will remelt and really adhere all of those layers together. Spread it evenly over the top. And now the remaining cheese. Okay. Before this goes into the oven, because this is so full, I don't want to make a mess in my oven. I'm going to bake this on a parchment-lined baking sheet. This is going to catch any bubbles and drips of that sauce, and it's going to be easy to clean up. So now I'm going to cover this with foil and get it into my oven. Oh boy. So this baked for about 50 minutes with the foil on top until everything was nice and tender. Then I took the foil off and let the cheese and the sauce get nice and brown and bubbly. I have to resist, but I'm going to let this sit for about 15 minutes before I slice into it and serve. I've tested my patience. I've let this cool a little bit and rest. Now I'm going to cut in and try it. Like so, get my knife around the outside. Great. Okay. Oh, look at that. You can see all of those beautiful layers of potato and that creamy sauce and the cheese. Last thing, I'm gonna garnish with a little bit of chive. The potatoes are so nice and tender and creamy. I get the cheese, I get the nice sauce. This is perfect for holidays, but really, you could serve this year round. Enjoy.